Did you have to wrestle with envy on your way through your career? We all do to some degree.
I think I worked for just long enough in a proper corporate job that I can remember that and keep the gratitude there.
Right.
But no, I mean, I started off the first Edinburgh show. Edinburgh's like this big, the arts festival, and you go and everyone puts on a show. Not the first Edinburgh I did, the second Edinburgh I did. First time I just kind of went and did little sets around the place and loved it. Second time I went up with three friends. I went up with my friend Robin Ince, Steve Merchant, and Ricky Gervais.
Oh, wow.
And Ricky and Steve were working on this thing called The Office. And we were putting together, and we were all kind of in it together. And he was working on The Office with Steve. And it's great to have started with someone that did that.
Yeah.
Because very early on you go, oh, okay. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Right.
Have a great time with that. Mm-hmm. I'm doing my thing.
Right.
Lovely.
Exactly.
It kind of knocks it out of you early.
Yeah. It's a great thing. I remember, Nick DiPaolo?
Yeah. I did some gigs with Nick DiPaolo. I did a gig once with Nick DiPaolo and Patrice O'Neill.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of anger in this room. You guys seem upset about something. What's going on?
So great. Both so cutting, such great joke writers. I remember Nick getting really pissed off at the Comedy Cellar. Was at the table.
Sorry, Nick DiPaolo got pissed off.
It was very unusual. It was an unusual day.
I mean, this is going to go viral.
And he was really
fabulous comic.
He was really pissed off about a comedian who got something that he thought was not deserved. And
he didn't even want the thing.
No, probably not.
He didn't even want it. He just didn't want you to have it.
He didn't want that guy to be successful.
I've got like a definition of like envy versus jealousy. Whatever way you want to divide the words, but one is very good, one is very bad. Mm-hmm. Because envy, maybe to a degree, tells you what you want. Uh-huh. So if someone gets a Netflix special, you go, well, I want a Netflix special. Right. And you go, oh, okay, well, work hard and make it inevitable and write these jokes and take the tour out. And that's good. You know, you want that thing. Yeah. And jealousy is that thing of like, I don't want them to have that.
Right.
I don't want them to have that. Right. They just got a sitcom. Well, do you want a sitcom? No, but I don't want them to have one either.
Right.
Why?
That's brilliant. Yeah. And I said to Nick, Nick, who cares? I mean, in every business, lawyer, plumber, whatever, there's someone else in their industry who's getting success that maybe you don't feel is warranted. And it happens in every industry. And Nick said, yeah, but only in our business do I have to see that guy's face on the side of a bus.
I often think as well, when someone has success at a huge level and you don't think it's deserved, what's going on is you can't see what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So you go, sometimes I work on charisma. Mm-hmm. I've got no charm. There's no warmth here. There's no warmth. There's nothing. But sometimes
you're saying that about yourself?
Yeah. It would be rude if you said it, but yeah. But that thing of like going, sometimes you see a performer and then people will pay to be in a room with that guy.
Yes.
They've gone to see him. They've come to listen to you.
Right.
It's a different thing.
Right.
And sometimes you could be tricked into thinking, oh, you're doing the same thing. No, you're doing a very different thing. Mm-hmm. And why? So sometimes, sometimes people will go, oh, that guy's playing arenas, but his material's terrible. And you go, yeah, but have you seen how he performs?
Right.
It's balletic. This guy's incredible.
Yeah.
And you can't recognize that. It's almost like, I suppose, a classical musician going, who are these guys? AC/DC. This is nothing. Right. It's very different to what you do.
Right, exactly.
It's a really different style.
Yeah. And a lot of times you can't do what that person's doing. You literally can't do that.
And again, back to gratitude, as I always try and, you go, that person's making the cake bigger.
Right.
The person playing the stadium is making it bigger.
That's right.
They go, because a proportion of those people that went to see them will go, well, we had a great time at comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy Store, please.
I had a moment of that. Someone came to a theater show I was doing recently somewhere, and Nate had and it was a young person, like the 14-year-old who brought the parents. And they were just trying to knock off their favorite comedians. And they were just so happy to be there. And they said, we just saw Nate last week. And I said, oh, where was he playing? And because everywhere I go, they're like, you're sold out tonight. Great job. Nate was here. He was playing that football arena across the street.
He played the Enormo Dome.
Right, exactly. And you're like, well, I felt good for...
How big is the Enormo
I felt good
Dome?
for 30 minutes. And, but I said to them, like, so where was Nate playing? You know, he's a good friend of mine. And he said, oh, yeah, he played in that place where the Pacers play or whatever, where the sports team plays. It meant nothing to them. It meant nothing to this kid and the parents. It was like, no, we saw him last week and we're seeing you tonight.
Yes, you're as important in their heads.
It's
also that thing, it's a very good judge of whether someone is a real friend or your frenemies.
Right.
Like, if their success is your success.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes someone gets something and you just go, oh my God.
Yeah.
He's playing, 10 nights at Radio City Musical.
Right.
It's my boy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing. If it's somehow you go,
Right.
you need to, oh, okay, let's pause for a second there and think about what's going on.
Right. Is that person really your friend?
Yeah, well, it's I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird as well what we choose to be jealous of. Like, it's often like the sibling rivalries. Like the guys you came up with in your generation. Who were the guys that you came up with? And where are they now?
Right.
And if I asked you to name them, I'm sure it would be you name the ones that are doing fabulously well.
Right.
And you don't name the ones that no one's ever heard of.
Right.
So you only look to that. And those are the ones that you tend to be, because you're closest to them, somehow you being in the same class at high school is...
Right. Yeah.
So you can be jealous of them, but you can't be jealous of someone
Right.
10 years younger, because you go, well, that's a different thing.
Yeah. I was talking with someone who I'd started with back in New York when we were kids, and we were talking about like so and so died, and there was this one girl, Jackie, who just was brighter than all of us, and she just stopped, and we were like, wait, whatever happened to Jackie? I was like, why? How could she was so good? Where did she go? It's amazing that in those early days, like there were people funnier than everybody who, for whatever reason, don't end up still around 30
But
years.
it is that thing of like going, funny isn't the only metric in comedy. Mm-hmm. How badly you want it and how hard you're willing to work.
Yeah.
Show me, okay, tell me what you want. Now tell me what you're willing to sacrifice. Mm-hmm. What are you willing to sacrifice to do that? What would you give?
Right. Yeah.
And we were willing to give everything?
Everything. Without thinking about it.
Without
even considering.
And it wasn't work for us.
No.
It was, we found something. We're very lucky people. We found something that felt like play to us. So no one could compete, because to do 12 hours a day, it's nothing for me.
Nothing.
They want me to get up at this time and fly there to do what? To do 2 shows? Yeah,
Done.
Done. Great.
When I think back of like the amount of money young Tom was living on in the beginning of comedy, literally some weeks $5 a night. Like this new Tom would be panicked. I'd be like, just take me to the emergency room. I'll never make it. And that kid was so happy. I can get a bagel and an orange juice off of $5 a night. Yeah. So happy.